Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Time to take a look at some of the stocks that are on the move today, and we're joined by Bloomberg Markets reporter Valerie Teitel. Before we get to your New Year's resolutions, let's look at one of the most actively traded stocks, always there near the top, shares of NVIDIA. And we've got news on what they expect in terms of deliveries.
Look, we are seeing shares of Tesla rebound this morning. They're up just shy of 1%, which I know doesn't sound like a heck of a lot of movement. But yesterday it slid nearly 3.3% on essentially not a lot of new news. We had a lot of weakness in tech names yesterday. Tesla seemed to take a big of a brunt of it. Yes, there was some news out on deliveries, which did come in slightly underwhelming versus Bloomberg expectations, but a lot of that data we had already known about for the month of December. So it just seems like at the end of December, not proving very kind to mega cap tech, but Tesla is leading the slight rebound this morning. NVIDIA and some of the other names, however, are still trading flat pre-market. We do have the Fed minutes today, ADP weekly jobless numbers, tomorrow jobless claims for some final catalyst heading into year end to see if we can lift the NASDAQ to maybe some fun Santa rally levels to end the year.
And a bit of a rebound today for some of the mining stocks. Coeur, that's like the only one I can think of at this point. But you got more.
The miners, it's all second derivative to what's actually happening in the commodity space. We are seeing gold and silver rebound today, so the miners are rebounding with it. One of them is Newmont. That's the world's largest gold miner, is listed in the S&P 500. Yesterday was the worst decliner on a percentage basis in the S&P 500 index. Today it's rising 1.7% on the back of gold recovering. We're also seeing some of the silver producers recover. Core miners that you just mentioned, Hecla mining, the biggest U.S. silver producer, is up just shy of 3%, and that's after falling around 5% yesterday. So these miners following the commodities story, they're also doing well in Europe and could tempt another record close today for the broad Euro Stoxx 600. So miners doing well globally off the back of Basic Resources recovering from yesterday's silver rout.
And we do have an acquisition to tell you about, and Meta is making this acquisition. What's this all about?
Interesting acquisition from Meta. Now, I have to note it's not having much reaction on the share price, but that's kind of interesting in itself. We have seen these recent AI acquisitions really lead to more excitement about stocks this year. It seems like maybe perhaps the market is now starting to doubt whether the spending is worth it. But Meta has announced it will acquire a startup called Manus for $2 billion in a bet on AI agents. We're seeing shares of Meta just down 0.2%. They are underperforming the Mag 7. So again, maybe this is just another signal that the market wants in some way these tech companies to start justifying this gargantuan AI spending. But the really interesting thing about this, John, is that Manus is essentially a Chinese tech company. It was hailed as the next DeepSeek. Oh. So really interesting to see a U.S. tech company acquire a company with Chinese roots and whether that becomes a flashpoint in U.S.-China relations.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.